Welcome everyone to the biggest post-game show of the year. We had a finals game that came down to the wire. We got some amazing all-star stuff to go over. But first, before we do that, I got three special guests. We brought out the big guns for the championship post-game show. Three guys who I think could be all-stars in this league. You know, Rosinski might be retiring, but if you're a GM out there, I'm just letting you know. No, but for real. We got Brendan, Ashton, and Connor, and I'm gonna go one by one. Brendan, how you doing?
Good, Greg. How are you?
I can't complain. I can't complain.
Can't
What about you,
complain. That's
Ashton?
right.
I'm pretty hyped. How about you?
Oh, hyped. Hold on. Why you hyped, Ashton?
Hey, I'm talking about the championship and All-Star weekend.
All right, no. Just good answer. Good answer, Connor. What's good?
Yeah, I feel like, with this cast of, guys we got here, I'm just an afterthought. We got an all-star crew. We need to break down all-star week coming up and obviously the finals, but yeah, I'm glad to be here with you boys.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you said it best. You kind of led me into it. We got the finals, and it was a really good game, and we had Yagga and Get Money going at it. And before we kind of go over the game, I'm going to kind of run through what both these teams got here because it's not often you get a matchup where the teams that had a first week matchup actually played in the finals. And both teams did look different. Maybe not personnel wise, but just kind of forget money, figuring out the league. And for Yagga, definitely personnel. But Yagga took the week one matchup 99-87. So it was a good game. It was a 12-point game. I don't know if any of you guys, saw anything that first week that you were like, wow, Yaga's really good, or Get Money's got some potential. But I mean, for Get Money that week, you had the usuals. You had Ty Sheen, you had Tarek, and you had Tyrann, you had Terrell Lewis. I mean, like this team they play as a team. But I will say one thing I noticed off that first matchup is Alex Willis. He was only had 6 points, 2 of 8 from the field. And I think kind of down the stretch, he became more of a impact for this Get Money team. So I think that's definitely one thing I saw going forward that kind of helped them. For Yagga, it was kind of a smooth sailing. They didn't really have much adversity. They had players showing up late every now and then. TJ Killings came to some games, Kyle Davis came to some games, but they never really had their team at full potential for most of the season. And it was good to see Kyle come a lot during the playoffs and at the end of the year because I think he really was an impact for this team. But Yagga didn't lose a game, Get Money only lost to Yagga going forward the entire year. They even took out Redeem Team, and I remember that post game show. Redeem Team was, I mean, I picked Redeem Team. I think a few people did. I don't think Connor did. I think Connor took Get Money in that game, so I'm going to give him his flowers there.
Me, baby.
But yeah, I mean, Get Money is kind of the epitome of just kind of keep pushing, kind of work your craft and kind of figure out what works in this league and what doesn't. And I think Get Money peaked at the perfect time. And that's a good kind of segue into our championship game, which was an absolute ruler 78-75. Congratulations to Yagga. They did take it in the end. I'll just go over it quick because I know there's a certain person watching who wants to hear it. We got Mike Davis is now a 5-time champ. So shout out Mike Davis for 5 rings. And Devon Pratt's got 3. And who else has 3? Chris Rosinski. So shout out those 3. That's some hardware. He can't quite do the Brady meme yet, but he's got the same as Mahomes. So let's see. If Mahomes' 3 don't matter, it's interesting how his do. But whatever. Let's get back to the championship. We got Yagga taking it 78-75. Brendan, I'm gonna start with you just to quickly start with what did you see in this game and what do you think was kind of the initial key and what helped Yagga take this?
Yeah, I mean, watching the matchup week one, you could tell that this could easily be a future finals matchup. Um, yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know if the rest of our staff did, but at least I think I underestimated Get Money a little too much. I could have seen it being a blowout easily, but the McCrays and Alex Willis kept them in it the entire game. They even took a lead, I think, in the third quarter pretty briefly, but they took the lead. They were in it the whole game, but Kyle Davis just down the stretch just killed them on the boards defensively, driving, finishing, shooting, everything. Like, I mean, Kyle and Mike Davis too with his shooting. I mean, those
Yep.
guys, they don't miss. Like,
Yep.
so
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. Mike, I know Mike calls Kyle his cousin, so
yeah.
sometimes I don't know what they mean because Rosinski's calling Pratt his son. I don't know. But Ashton, what'd you see? What'd you see this game?
Yagga came out like they both came out like very evenly, and then Get Money kind of that cold streak, and I was like, oh, there goes Yagga. They're gonna have this huge break, and then in the start of the second half, they Get Money threw out like a random lineup that I did not expect to see to start the half, and it was working. They were locking down Yagga, and I was talking to some of the Yagga players after the game, and they said that lineup had us. They had our number for. They had no reason why they had the number. It's just they found a way to make defensive stops and get rebounds.
Yeah.
But then Yaga came out and played defense in that fourth quarter, and that the defensive play ended up leading them to win a championship because the final like two plays for Get Money was a steal by Yaga and then a block by Yaga, then like sealing the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally agree. That lineup, they get money. Get money is something they've really come a long way on. Is that me and Connor talked about it a lot. Is their rotations that they're such a team. You know, they remind me, and not in a play style way, but they rotate the same way kind of Team Moose or Flint did back in the day. This is previous leagues, but they would just play everyone, and that's what this Get Money team does. They're very unselfish. They want to see everyone shine. So Connor, how did Yaga pull this 3-point win off in a closely contested battle?
Yeah, it was obviously Kyle Davis who was the pivotal force at the end. And you look at the stats, if maybe you didn't get a chance to watch the game, obviously looking at any box score of any basketball game kind of gives you like a picture of what happened. But I think what would get lost in the picture here is if you're looking, you say, oh, Kyle Davis was just great on offense and just, carried his team alongside Mike Davis, obviously, as well. But it was those defensive plays at the end of the game that were really like the standout plays. It was the steal and then the really, clutch timeout from Chris Rosinski, who I know wants his credit for that because, Chris, player coach, GM, whatever you want to call him, didn't get a lot of burn on the court during the championship game, but definitely made an impact on the bench there with the big timeout call. That's solidified that possession for Yaga, which I think Kyle ended up hitting a couple free throws. Um, and another big sequence in this game, I think Ashton was referring to it earlier, was in the beginning, it looked like Yaga it started out kind of close back and forth,
Yeah.
all of a sudden Yaga just opened up the floodgates and it like, boom, like 11-point lead in a matter of just a few possessions. And I know I was watching the game alongside Brendan. We were at the scorer's table. He kind of gave me the elbow, like, dude, it's about to get ugly real quick. And Get Money called a timeout. And that was, to me, the smartest thing they could have done in that situation. They stopped all the momentum. Pratt was screaming, let's get him out of here. Let's get him out of here. And it was looking like that was about to be the case. Get Money rallies back together. They get into the huddle. They changed up their rotations. And I think like what you were saying as well, Greg, that's kind of been their MO all year is just, I feel like they're the most organized team in the league. A team like Yaga where I think, from top to bottom, there's just a little bit more talent. You can see how Get Money finds their advantage and just being organized, being a system. I give a lot of the credit there to the McRaes and especially Tyron, the captain, who you really see like his kind of coaching mentality as well as his unbelievable play on the court. But you can really see he's a high IQ basketball player, knows the game, and got his guys back out there. And after that timeout, Get Money made it a real close game in just a matter of a few plays, and they kept it there. They even got the lead in the second half. I think they had a 3 or 4 point lead, and it was looking like Yaga started to fall apart. Yaga's never been in that situation where the adversity was really that high, and it was just really entertaining to watch because we see guys like Mike Davis and Eric Langston who are unbelievable players. Greg, me and you've seen them for years, but
Mm-hmm.
in a league like this, they sometimes we see them just kind of not really trying as hard as they can.
Coasting.
Yeah, they just coast it, and
Yeah.
so it was awesome to see players like that like really giving it their all on both ends of the court because that's what makes these championship matchups so fun. So shout out to Get Money, man, an unbelievable season. I was riding with them all the way to the championship, and unfortunately had to stick with my boys Yaga for the win. But I will say I was wrong, just kind of the way Brennan was about the score. I think I predicted Yaga to win by 16, and shout out Get Money for just making this such a competitive and entertaining finals matchup that really came down to the wire, down to the last shot, and Kyle Davis with the block to seal it.
Yeah, no, I actually want to echo that too. Get Money definitely proved me wrong as well. I thought they'd maybe lose this game around 15 points, and they played a hell of a game. They're a great team. They play a brand of basketball that absolutely works in this league and that you can easily win a championship with. That's like from all the champions we've seen. I mean, we missed about a year when the year before we interned or whatever, and then I played. So I've seen a lot of teams in this league, and the teams that always win, you need finesse, you need scoring, and you need power, but you also need just that team mindset of just we're going to look for the best shot. We're going to play defense. We're going to get other guys involved because, I know this might sound funny, but the original, so Yagga used to be this team Shocker City, and the original Shocker City team, the first one they won with, wasn't as star driven. They had stars. I'm not saying they didn't, but it's just funny to see how, like Connor said, there was a certain point when that lineup went in for Get Money and they were putting pressure on them. I think they were up like seven, 6, 7 points at one point. And then I remember, I think Mike Davis came down and hit a crazy acrobatic layup, a little up and under. He hit a few shots, and then I could not agree more with Connor about Kyle Davis's defense in this game. I want to pull a clip up, but I don't know if it's going to be laggy. But it's the final steal of the game, and it was just a pivotal play. And I think it was just there's just that little edge and talent overall from Yagga to Get Money, and that is just kind of what ended up being the difference in this one. But I guess if I'm gonna throw a question at you boys. It's gonna be an easy one. It's gonna be an easy one. So Finals MVP was Kyle Davis, right? We all said that. If you had to pick one other player from this Finals, could be Yagga Get Money. It doesn't matter winner or losing. If you could pick a player from this Finals you think maybe impressed you, had a great game, had a bad game, whichever way you want to spin it. Maybe you like the way his jump shot looks. It's up to you. But I'm gonna start. I'll go first, so I'll give you guys some time to think. And for this game, I'm just going to continue to give the flowers to Dave Armstrong. I think he plays a huge role in this game. I think he does something for this Yagga team. He's not really, look, every time you mention Yagga, you mention Kyle, Mike, Eric, Pratt. Even when TJ goes, you know what? I'm not even going to say it. I probably mentioned Rosinski more than Dave Armstrong. But Dave Armstrong is always their leading rebounder. He's always playing hard defense. And if he's also brought some energy that game, and they were going back and forth in the middle of the game, and he was playing possessed out there, and he's so efficient. He doesn't take dumb shots, and he's never going to waste a possession for this Yagga team. So Dave Armstrong's going to be mine. Brendan, what about you?
Actually, as soon as you asked the question, I already knew that I was going to say the same thing.
I
So
like that.
I definitely second that. And
Yep.
kind of what Connor said when he was
Mhm.
explaining the outcome of the game. For guys like him, I mean, he always plays hard,
Yeah.
but it was cool to see him, especially in the middle of that game when it was getting a little like testy back and forth.
Mhm.
It was cool to see him try his hardest because, like you said, he doesn't take dumb shots, so he doesn't miss because he's always
Yeah.
in the paint, bumping guys off him and dunking it every time. He gets all the rebounds, and he's just that driving force underneath the basket that, like you said, you don't talk about him very much, but he's always going to be there. He's always going to be consistent. So that's why I would say the same thing. Dave Armstrong for sure.
Yeah. No. Amazing pick. Amazing pick. Great minds. See, Panthers fans, we stick together. That's what we do. These other fan bases.
He had 15 rebounds, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or no, sorry, 11.
11. Yeah. But I mean, and also Dave Armstrong, just so people, know, he was an All-Star game MVP too. And I think it was like the first, or like maybe the last All-Star game we played. I think it was the last All-Star game of this league. He was an MVP of that game. So when he wants to, he can score.
Yeah.
But Ashton, I'm going to you. Who you got and
Dave
why?
Armstrong's a great pick, but I'm also gonna go with Eric Singleton. Langston, I mean.
Okay.
Eric Langston, because he's a great on defense. He's a great rim protector. I've seen him in the paint and like no one can score against him. But then he kind of surprises you. He can hit threes like it's nothing. I see him just randomly chuck up threes all season. And I'm like, how are those going in? But then he hits them.
Yep.
But he also surprised me in this game, though. He started driving a lot more, too. And he was just getting to the rim like it was nothing. And again, Mike had no way to stop him, but his effect on both offense and defense was just key to this game as well. And then Dave Armstrong also helped him a lot throughout this game as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, Eric has been in this league for a while. He is a great shooter, and it's something that's funny because a lot of times you see the bigger guys in this league and they're just dominating down low, but he can do it both. Connor, who you got and why?
I know you said not to talk about Kyle Davis because obviously he was the Finals MVP.
Yeah.
But there's one thing about Kyle's game in this particular matchup that really stood out to me that I kind of want to highlight was the mid-range jump shot. And I
Mhm.
think we're all, really, astute basketball fans. And we all know that the mid-range jump shot is one of those plays in basketball that it's like, it's a difficult shot to make and it only counts as 2 points. So, a lot of times, if you've ever played, coaches will tell you like, it's really not a shot that you want to lean on too often unless you're a really efficient mid-range shooter. And I don't think I was really aware of how good Kyle's mid-range was until this game. Um, he killed him on that mid-range jumper all game. And I was obviously at the scores table, and Tyron was yelling out at his teammates like, guys, we got to get up on that mid-range. As much as we would love to give him that because it's a difficult shot and it only counts as much as a layup would count, but still at the same time, he's making every single one of them. He literally, I don't think he might have been perfect from the floor just in terms of the mid-range jump shot. He was, and not just easy spot up mid-range. I'm talking, he was going tween, hesitation, step to the side, over a defender's hand. Like he was unstoppable with that mid-range jumper. Um, and in clutch moments as well, where the game was really in the balance, he was taking difficult shots and drilling them consistently. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that as part of his game because obviously it doesn't really show where those shots are coming from in the stat sheet, but that was in my opinion one of the most pivotal roles in the game was Kyle's mid range just falling consistently. But one player for Get Money that I want to talk about real quick was Trayvon Ashton.
Yeah, yeah.
He uh, he was perfect from the floor with 9 points, and
Hmm.
yeah, 9 points, might not really blow you away, but it was those moments in the game where same situation where Kyle's mid range was really starting to swing things. He was getting to the basket for Get Money, and where Tarek McCall has been the big guy for Get Money and in most situations this year with the big impact plays. He was making huge impact plays himself this game, and I remember at the end of the game when Tysheem fouled out with only a
Yeah.
few minutes left in that game. Um, Trayvon was the guy that Tysheem came off and said, "Trey, get in," which shows you enough right there that hey, if the best player is coming off the floor and Get Money has a big bench, they could have called in anybody to come get Tysheem, and they called in Trayvon, which just kind of shows you, the type of role he was playing, and they knew he had a hot hand and that he was playing really well. He's playing great defense. Um, and lastly, a real quick thing I want to talk about was Tyron McRae in the last two
Yeah.
minutes after Tysheem was out hitting big time floaters, ice in his veins. I mean, he tied up the game, I think, 2 times. And there were possessions where obviously there's no shot clock. Um,
Yep.
like if Get Money didn't come down and score in those possessions, that game was over. That game
Yep.
was 100%. It was wrapped up. They were in must score situations with no Tysheem. Everyone knows the ball's going to Tyron, and he was getting to the hoop. He was doing those Steph Curry floaters where you get through the first level of the defense, the big men start to creep into the paint, and then he was just pulling up that little float jump shot right over the top. Clutch shots, which set Get Money up obviously for a late game situation where they had a chance to tie it. It didn't fall, and I feel bad for Tyron because obviously when you're shooting the last shot to try to tie a game or win the game, you want the ball to at least just give you a chance. He only had
Yeah.
4 seconds off the missed free throw by Mike Davis, which was, by the way, like Mike Davis had a chance to just win the game with a free throw. I think everybody in the stand and watching the game in
Yeah.
general probably thought he was going to drill those free throws and win it. But yeah, he missed the second, which probably beneficial for Yagga that he missed the second and not the first, because now Get Money has to
Yeah.
get that rebound. The time starts ticking. You got to scramble. Tyron did the best he can. A lot of times you see in those situations, sometimes they shoot the ball a little too early. Um, and obviously, I see Greg screen sharing here. Greg, is this the last play?
This is the Kyle Davis steal.
This is
I
the
want to
Kyle
see if
Davis.
it's laggy or not.
Yeah, why don't you play it real quick?
Is it laggy? I'm assuming it's going to be laggy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's a little
fine.
laggy, but yeah. So we see Trayvon Ashton with the ball here in the post, high post, gets it to Tyron. Look at the on ball defense by Tyron there. Just like super, just in his face, in his pocket, and then obviously putting his whole body on the line there. Getting to the floor, very Draymond Green type of style there, just putting it all out there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I
Yeah.
just I think at the end of that game with the Tyron block, or I'm sorry, the Kyle Davis block on the Tyron jump.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
just a high IQ play by Kyle, understanding the shot clock, knowing that Tyron doesn't have time to get the shot that he wants. So you just have to be in his face because he's going to have to pull it up. And he was right there when he needed
Hmm.
to be and made the big time play.
Yeah, no, I mean, I completely agree with it all. I think that that game really, Tyron McRae had such a good game. He is such a good player in this league. He had such a great season, and he is just someone who gets it. He understands the game of basketball, and it's awesome to see. It's awesome to watch, and I can't wait to watch those guys more in legacy leagues.
Mm.
But with that being said, shout out to Yagga. They got the win. They got the chip. That's Yagga gets their first ring, I guess, because they're a new team with some familiar faces. So congratulations to Yagga, and also congratulations to Get Money on a phenomenal season. I think we all think those guys will 100% be back. So there's really nothing we need to worry about there. But now we're gonna go to do something fun. We're gonna do the All-Star Night predictions. It's up to you guys. I think we're gonna start. We'll start first. So All-Star Night is next week for anyone that wants to come out and support. We got some three-point shootout. We got a slam dunk contest. We got a potential Chris Rosinski, Joey Zacco one-on-one. And yeah, I mean it's gonna be a good one. But we're gonna start with the three-point shootout. So I'll share my screen right here. You guys see this?
Yep.
Sure.
All right, perfect. So obviously, as you can see, we got some big names in the three-point shootout. I'll just run through some of them. We got Mike Davis from Yagga. I mean, the sniper as always. The sniper duo from Yagga. We got Devon Pratt and Mike Davis. Two legends in this league. Never forget when Devon Pratt and Mike Davis, their first team, well, not their first team, but the first time I think they played together, serial killers. Never forget the team. Tyree McRae getting in the game. His first year, he's in three-point shootout, so that's going to be amazing to see. Jason Velez had a phenomenal year. He was over 40% from three, and as a bigger guy, it's really cool to see the big men in this contest. Then we got Miles Raymond from Redeem Team, who just was absolutely ridiculous from the field. And then we got Joey Zacco, the returning champ, getting in there, and I love the X going give it to you. So, Brendan, who you got?
I got Joey Zacco. You kidding me?
Wow.
I don't need to say anything else.
He's getting those brownie points with the boss.
Can't pick anybody else.
I guess
Did
I'll
we
go.
stop? Did
Oh
we
yeah, no,
stop?
that I didn't.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
that was all I had.
Oh, Ashton, who you got?
Yeah, I'll keep going. I'm gonna take Tyron McRae. I love what I've seen from him this season. And like Connor said and Greg said, he's a sniper. He's gonna hit shots anywhere on the court. He was hitting mid range, he was hitting 3-pointers in the championship game, and he was doing that all season long. So I'm gonna go with Tyron McRae.
I like it.
Love that pick. Love that pick. Connor, who you got?
Um, I think like if I'm a big gambler, as many people know. If I had to set the odds on favorite, I would honestly pick Joey. He I played with Joey, and typically in a lot of the seasons I've seen Joey play in Connecticut, he was usually like a role player off the bench. Whenever his team needed shooting, or if they were chasing a lead, Joey would be out there. But when I played with him on Stranger Danger, we had a lot less talent, unfortunately, and Joey was forced to be in more of a predominant role where he got to shoot the ball a lot more in terms of volume. And I really saw that, Joey had, he really does have a great 3-point jump shot. It's a little funky, he kind of has that Dirk type of thing where he pulls it back behind his head, but man, he's got the arc for it, and he really has, he's figured it out on 8.5. He's probably got more shots on 8.5 than everybody in the league, so that definitely gives him an advantage. But I'm gonna pick my boy Jason Velez. That's my all-star pick. So I'm gonna ride with Jason. I think I've seen him in some of these games this year where when he gets hot, he's really just a heat check machine. He'll be pulling it from literally anywhere. He's pulling it from Steph range in game. Um, and I think that he's got the underdog value that I would ride with if this was bettable. So I'm gonna pick Jason Velez, but definitely it's gonna be a competitive field. I actually it's tough to say Mike Davis. Actually, I can't really ignore Mike Davis is probably the best 3-point shooter in the league's history. As he'd probably be actually up there with Joey in terms of favorite odds. But I want to go with the sneaky underdog pick, and I don't want to pick a too chalky of a pick, so I'm going to go with Jason. But man, what a great field of snipers we have out here: Pratt, Tyron, and Miles Raymond. I like all these guys, and any one of them could win. I mean, that's why they're all in the contest. But I'm going to go with the underdog pick. I think Jason Velez.
No, that's a good pick. Yeah, I actually might go with you. I might go Jason. You know what? I'm gonna go Tyron McRae in this one. I think he's coming off a good finals game. I think that he's gonna be hot and just kind of feeling it. And once he gets a few shots up in pregame, I think he's really just gonna be ready for this shootout. I wonder if this is the order they're going in, or is Joey going last? What do we got going on there? But I'm gonna go Tyron McRae. And then that brings us to the slam dunk contest, where speaking of the McRae brothers, we got Tyshin in the slam dunk contest. Jacob Morales, who has just put on absolute highlight after highlight this season for would have been. He was their best player and he had a phenomenal year. So it's good to see him in this. Then we got Eric Singleton from Redeem Team, who once tried to dunk over me. Never forget. He's been in this contest many a time. So we'll see what he does this time. And then we got three Yagga guys: Kyle Davis, Mike Davis, and TJ Killings. I can't wait to see Mike Davis in the dunk contest. Uh, that's good. I cannot wait to see what Mike's gonna pull out at a dunk contest. But Brendan, you got the whole field in front of you. Who you got?
Yeah, I think my gut would normally tell me to go with Tyshin just because he's like one of the highest flyers that we got. But Jake, I think I'm gonna go with Jacob Morales. Like you said, like literally just highlight after highlight every week. He was a guy that I wish we could have seen more like in the playoffs. I think they lost in the first round, right? Or
Yeah, the biggest
yeah.
skis took him down.
Yeah, yeah. So he was someone I wish we could have seen a little bit more of, but yeah, no, just the highlights every week. That the guy can jump through the roof. So I think I got him.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's probably the odds-on favorite just because of the absolute dunks he's put on this year. TJ Killings is another one who could be phenomenal. I mean, all these guys can dunk, but Ashton, out of all the amazing dunkers we got in this contest, who do you think's taking it home?
I do like the Jacob pick. I do like the Taishin thought how athletic he is. He can do anything he wants. But I'm gonna go with Eric Singleton. I've seen some crazy plays from him. Some of them were even just missed dunks, but like he can get up there. I can see him doing some like between a leg 360, doing a dunk, something like that. He's very athletic. I just cannot not see him not win this.
Yeah, no, I mean Eric is one of the most athletic players we've seen in this league, so it's hard to argue with that. Connor, who you got?
I got to give Ashton a little credit because honestly, Ashton knows I've been busting his chops a little bit about players he's picked or teams he's picked. It typically doesn't go well for him whenever he makes his pick on the post game show. But I got to say, for Ashton, who hasn't really seen a lot of Connecticut leagues in the past, picking Eric Singleton is a really high IQ decision there. He has been one of the best dunkers in the Connecticut League for as long as I've been involved, going back to like 2017. So for you to have only had a small sample size to see what Eric is really made of in this in the current season, 2024, yeah, no, that's a very good decision. I think he's definitely one of the best dunkers in this contest. But this contest, I'm not even just saying this to just gas all these guys up. This is really a stacked contest. And I know, Greg, you're saying like, what the heck is Mike Davis doing in here? Honestly, Mike has had some really crazy in-game dunks.
He has, yeah.
He really, yeah, he's probably more of an in-game dunker than he is a dunk contest type of player. But I mean, definitely qualified to be in the competition.
Yeah.
Um, just a great athlete, and he decides to shoot the three. Like we always laugh, like Mike is literally that guy in wide open fast break situations where the dunk is literally a gimme, and like any person in the right mind would just take the 2 points. Mike is literally that guy that just stops at the 3 point line and pulls up and usually hits it with ease.
Yeah.
So that's why we typically don't see Mike dunking. It's just because he just loves shooting so much. But when he has to, man, he can go to the rack and he is not afraid to put it down on somebody. Jacob Morales is a great call. I mean, Jacob is another one where when typical fast break, right, and an easy dunk, he like goes behind the back through the legs, 360. Like he is always looking for highlights. He's not just looking for the 2 points. So that's another great call. But I'm gonna go TJ Killings, man. I mean, this dude has a clip on Instagram where I think it's already racked up over 4 million views on our social media. Um, just ridiculous. He kind of has those Blake Griffin style dunks where he's so far above the rim where he just like throws it in. He doesn't even have to really like, hang on the rim because he's so far out. His arms are so long. He's just got like a crazy wingspan, crazy bounce.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, one of the most insane athletes to ever step foot on the court in legacy leagues. Um, he's been MIA, obviously work schedule and life and whatnot. I mean, we all got to remember these guys. This isn't our day
Yeah.
job, you know. So it's unfortunate that we weren't able to see TJ in his full exposure this season. But if he shows up for me, that's the pick. He's that dude's an absolute dog. So I'd ride with TJ for my pick in the slam dunk.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick. I mean, I guess I'm going to get money in these games. I'm going Taishim McCray to win the slam dunk contest. He's a great in-game dunker. I think he can pull out some good things. He's got that crazy athleticism where, like you said with TJ, he just kind of floats above the rim. Very Blake Griffin-esque. So I think I think we all made some good picks. We'll see who ends up taking it. But if you guys can see the rosters right now, and we got some good players in this game. These are the all-stars voted on by the interns, by us, by Joey, and we all collaborate and we vote. And this is what came out. We got some all-stars here, so I'll go through them now. We got Mike Davis from Yagga. He's an 8-time all-star. We got Reggie Stort from Redeem Team, an 8-time all-star. So, I mean, it's crazy to see some of these out here. I'll go through Team Horne and Team Sauer. So, obviously, we had Mike and Reggie. Those 8-time all-stars, though, is an insane thing to see. Just to think about how long they've played in this league, 8 times is crazy. But on Team Horn, we got Mike Davis, obviously, Eric Singleton from Redeem with a 6-time All-Star. Then we have Taishi McCray, his first All-Star appearance as a rookie. Dave Armstrong getting his 2-time All-Star appearance. Also, Dave Armstrong, a former All-Star MVP, so that's good to know. The one time he played, he won MVP. We got Elijah Henry from the Biggest Skis, Tyron McCray, and Rico Santiago, all first-time All-Stars to round out Team Horn. Liking what I got from my squad. Then we got Connor on the other hand. We got Reggie, obviously. Shout out Reggie again, but they 8-time All-Star. It's just incredible. Devon Pratt from Yagga, his third All-Star appearance. Miles Raymond, Jacob Morales, Jason Velez, all getting a first-time All-Star nod with Robert Sumter. And then John Zerbos getting his second All-Star nod. So it's good to see some of these guys. We got a lot of new faces in the All-Star game, some first-time All-Stars, some rookies. And then we got some guys coming back from previous seasons who are getting into the All-Star game. So I'll just kick it to you, Brendan. This is looking like a good game. We got some of the best talent that Legacy Leagues has to offer on the court. Who do you got and why?
Yeah, I'm guessing I'm gonna be on stats this game, so that should be fun for me. I think the odds would tell me to take your team, Greg, but I think I'm gonna take Connor's team. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
I,
Go.
this is just my opinion. I think that Connor's team is the underdogs, just because of Mike and Ty Sheen and
Yeah.
Tyron and all those guys. But like, you have the two of the best playmakers in the entire league in Reggie and Devon Pratt.
Yep.
And I love watching Reggie play. I feel like he's just gonna go absolutely berserk and score 50. So that's why I'm gonna take Connor's team.
Yeah, no, it's hard to argue. Last time me and Connor did this All-Star game, Reggie was on my team, and it's literally like you said, Reggie went berserk.
Yeah.
That's what Reggie does. So it's again, there's no wrong answer here. Ashton, who you got and why?
I do like both teams. They're both like kind of well rounded in like certain areas. One more playmaking, kind of like speed up the game. The other one's like a shooting team and going everywhere. I do like your team, Greg. I'm gonna go with your team with this game, kind of even out with Brendan's pick. Kind of have one pick one. I do like Eric Singleton, Mike Davis. I do like they have the McCray brothers on the team. They work so well together. I've never seen them not work together at all.
Yeah.
They just have chemistry like through the roof. So I think it's gonna be a very good game, but I'm just gonna pick your team.
Yeah, no, yeah. Again, I mean, these are some of the best players in this league. So, there's going to be talent all over, and it's going to be fun to see a lot of guys play with each other that, might never get a chance to. Connor, I mean, I guess I can't ask you, but Connor, why is your team going to win?
Well, it's like Ashton said, it's really a battle. It's a clash between two different play styles, right? It's size versus speed, really. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I kind of regret not getting a big man a little bit earlier in the draft. Greg was a little stingy with the picks there. He saw when I left Dave Armstrong on the board after my third round. He grabbed him, and then I went Jacob Morales with the fourth round pick. And I think being a guard when I played basketball, I think I was a little bit biased and picking some really, impressive guards and kind of forgot about some big men. And all of a sudden I'm looking deep in the draft, and Jason Velez, who's, a stretch big, is now going to have to be my low post scoring, defender. So I definitely should have probably stacked up on size a little bit more. So that's going to probably be my weakness, but I think I could make up for that with the playmaking and the speed and the shooting. It's going to be a lot of finesse versus a lot of power. Reggie was the guy that I'm going to have to really rely on. I think the secret sauce for me, was that Redeem Team versus Get Money semifinals matchup. At the end of that game, Tyron and Taisheen and the whole Get Money team was in a pretty heated exchange with Redeem, obviously with Reggie Stewart, and there's a little bit of there's a little bit of beef there. Obviously, basketball beef, not off the court beef, of course, but I think Reggie might come into this game with a little bit of extra fire. And, it's going to be a little bit of a game inside the game with Reggie versus the McRae's. So I need Reggie to go out there and drop 40. Like I really, because I remember in our last time me and Greg went head to head in the All
Yeah.
Stars. I talked about it during the draft show that we had, but my team had a nice secure lead, and I was starting to feel nice. And I know Reggie, me and Reggie go back, since 2017. I've been watching him hoop in this league, and I started to chirp him a little bit. And every time Reggie got the ball, I was like, guys, he can't shoot, he can't shoot. And obviously, I know Reggie's one of the best shooters in the league. I was just trying to get in his head a little bit, and that was such a bad idea. Reggie started just hitting three after three after three, and he was looking me down the whole time, laughing at me. And he ended up, really just destroying me in the final stages of that game. But yeah, I think for me, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle as Greg is pulling up. I don't know what Greg's doing over here right now. He's definitely going
Oh,
to
yeah. I was
definitely
trying
going to
to
pull
find our
up
old
to the
box
screen.
score. I was trying to
Yeah,
find
I
the
know.
box score.
He's looking for
But
receipts over there, but
new
yeah.
website. So
It's gonna be a good game, Greg, and I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I'm excited about my guys and to see how these guys come together.
yeah, no, me too. I'm really excited. It's gonna be such a good one. I like my team. I didn't know about. I wasn't there that week, so I didn't know there's some little extra motivation for Team Connor. I'm not even gonna call it by the real name. No respect, but look, I mean, I like my team. I think I like the chemistry they got. I think Eric and Mike have played together a few times in an All-Star game before. And, with that being said, I hope I take the dub, but the best thing about the All-Star game is it's usually a lot of fun. A lot of the times, these guys, it's kind of like the NBA in the sense they're not playing that much defense, but they will closer to the end of the game, which is really cool. And I think Joey also has it now where they have to reach a target score to win. It's not just like whoever's winning at the end of the game wins. So that's going to add a little spice to it. And it's going to be fun to see just a Legacy League family having fun and everyone playing together. I mean, there's so many guys out here that all season have been going at it. So it's going to be funny to see, Mike, Taisheen, and Tyron were just going at it in the finals. Now they're going to be together on a team. So it's going to be really, really cool to see. With that being said, I got one last question for all of you. And it's going to be an easy one. It's going to be an easy one. It's just, I guess, just for Ashton and Brendan because we can't pick. But Ashton and Brendan, I'll start with you, Brendan. Who do you got as MVP in this All Star game?
Taking my man Reggie.
Okay.
I think, like you said, he did. Was it last year? You said he scored like 40.
Yeah,
Yeah,
last
yeah,
All Star game,
2019, I'm pretty sure.
2019.
2019. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, he's gonna do it again. I'm
Yeah.
confident. Confident.
Ashton.
Give me Mike Davis. I can see
Wow.
him going off in the All-Star game this time around. And coming off a championship run, who wouldn't want to get MVP in the All-Star game right after?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're not wrong. And, as things change, they stayed the same as when we left. Mike Davis and Reggie Stewart were dominating this league, and they're still dominating this league. Yaga's on top again. Chris Rosinski's still dominating this league.
And
Joey has no rings, still a thing. Sorry, Joey. Love you. And Connor, what we got down there? Give your all
Yeah,
do your
give me
bit.
the camera for a second. I want to shout out Yaga, a great season before we take off here. They hit me up with the merch. I love it. And it's a really cool moment there at the end of the day where Chris was able to throw me a jersey. I think this is TJ Killing's jersey. Shout out TJ, man, great player. But yeah, I got a chance to really, get to know Yagga over the years, and obviously going back to when they were Shocker City and the Blue Devils, and all good dudes, man. And good guys on the court, good guys off the court, and we saw that at the end of the championship game. I want to just kind of acknowledge that real quick. All love and all respect between Get Money and Yagga, and even Yagga in their post game interview said, we respect the hell out of Get Money, and they really challenged them, and it was just cool because they were talking trash, like that's what makes the game fun to watch. But at the end of the day, it was all love, all respect. Everybody
Yeah.
was dapping each other up and acknowledging, just a great basketball game and a fun night of basketball and a great season of Legacy Leagues. It was honestly a blast. It was great having Brendan and Ashton and all the interns, who helped us out this season. It was just a great crew of people, man. It was good family vibes all season long, and yeah, just want to just kind of just give everyone their
Yeah.
flowers, man. The players, the interns, shout out Joey. And shout out you, Greg. Me and you in our first season holding it down as basically
Yeah.
commissioners of the Connecticut League. It was a blast. So I just want to just say that before we take off.
Yeah, no, it was a blast. Yeah, shout out to interns as always. You guys, help us do this. Without you guys, we would definitely not be doing it.
Mhm.
Yeah, shout out everyone, all the players. It's a big family, and the players make the league. Joey, anyone. Shout out Chris Rosinski not hitting a three in the regular season. And with that being said, we're gonna get out of here, everyone. It was a great regular season, a great playoffs. Congratulations to Yagga and congratulations to Get Money on a phenomenal season. I know that those guys will be back and probably get a ring under their belt. For me, for Connor, for Brendan, and for Ashton, this is the Legacy Leagues. And yeah, goodbye.